Good cold spring morning to everybody out there. It's cold this morning.
No, it ain't.
Welcome to Bedford County Sports Live. I'm Bill Anderson, and I've got coaches with me, Coach Kenny Parker and the illustrious Coach Judd Dryden. Illustrious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
David Thomas, the boss, is behind the computer screen bringing everything to you today. But right now, we're going to hear from our sponsors real quick, and then we're going to come right back and talk a little baseball.
Cleaners, we provide quality services you can rely on. Located in Shelbyville, we're the area's leading dry cleaner, proudly serving customers throughout Bedford County since 2001. We provide same-day dry cleaning and laundry service as well as tuxedo rentals. For customer convenience, we offer delivery and also have a drive-through and overnight drop box.
For all your dry cleaning needs, call Corner Cleaners.
Cade Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street today.
Special thank you to First Bank, Corner Cleaners, and Kincaid
Service
Company right here in Shelbyville. Coach, you don't like hauling stuff off, do you?
No, I do not.
I had a feeling you didn't.
You guys are really good at that. I'd much rather stay out of it.
Absolutely. No hauling off from me either.
If I'm being honest, I'd rather be over there by David.
Right, behind the guy behind the guy. Like David Thomas, I agree. Baseball this week, up and running. Of course, the weather's messing us up. Last Saturday, Rocket City, Alabama was here. Shelbyville beat them 12-2. We've gotten off to a tough start from the district. Really tough loss to Coffee County at home, 3-2. Had the lead late, and then we lost to them the second time, 8-5. We're in an 0-4 hole in the district. Now, I will update everybody that Shelbyville did beat South Pittsburgh 7-5 and picked up a win. We're in a hole in the district. However, I was talking to Coach yesterday. We were 1-9 a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we started off. I think we're 8-10 right here. It's halfway through. We just need to get on a run, guys.
It's how you finish.
It's how you finish, not how you start.
It doesn't do you any good. Well, it does good to win them now, but you won't win them late.
Absolutely. But the 0-4 start has been tough in the district, but I think it'll get better here pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
I think it will get better for Shelbyville. I believe Community and Cascade, they played earlier in the week. Cascade beat Community 9-1. Coach Robbie Davis was letting me know that he had mostly freshmen and sophomores out there, of course.
Well,
and I think they did, and they were actually in the game till the sixth inning when things fell apart on them. I believe their makeup game due to weather is today. In fact, I know it is. Community also played Cornersville last night, beat them 11-3.
Where is that game today?
Today's game, I believe, is at Community, I think.
Okay.
So they're playing today, the makeup game. And that's the problem with baseball here, is these makeup games hit you, and all of a sudden, if you've got a tournament or something to go to, I mean, you're playing like Shelbyville 5 games in 3 days.
And you got to watch your pitching.
And you have to watch. And then once you get past that, you go into next week in a district game. So what do you do with a tournament here that counts, but it doesn't? And you got district games coming up. It's tough on these coaches at all levels. Softball, again, we're having a hard time. You coaches out there, I wish you could reach out to me or David or Kenny or whoever and get us some scores, because we just cannot seem to find any softball scores much. Get a few of them, but and I know there's been rainouts on softball, Kenny, too, but we need some scores, don't we?
Need some scores.
All right, looking ahead, Coach, good to have you here.
Thank you.
You got 2 hats you're wearing now.
2 hats.
Football coach?
Yep, and the new hat is wearing me out worse than the old hat does. So,
are you
crazy. Spring sports, yes, sir.
Good, cool.
Yeah, it's been crazy. We've all week this week we've been in interviews for the girls basketball job. You had 2 in a row, softball at home. Of course, you had baseball at home the other night. So it's been busy out on campus. Plus, dealing with all the brand new construction that's been an absolute blessing, and all that. So there's a lot going on right now.
From a football perspective, how do you handle the spring Is it more of a workout? Do you get a time for spring? Because you got a lot of your boys in baseball, which mess that up, doesn't it?
It does, but we're still carrying close to 40 in the off season. Spring ball for us starts on April 29th, and then we'll scrimmage Warren County here on May 16th. So we get a lot of good work in, and shoot, those guys that are playing soccer and baseball right now, I think we're down 12 guys returners to soccer and baseball together. And I mean, they're getting good work out there. I mean, it's just the different experience and different visual inputs and reaction times. I mean, it all builds better athletes. So we're excited about it.
Is spring still you have 15 days to get 10 in?
Basically.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, plus the scrimmage.
Do you try to carry it over 3 weeks, or you try to crunch it in, depending on probably when you get your baseball and soccer guys, right?
Right. We push it as far back as we can, just in case we can pick up, 1 week worth of kids, whatnot. And it's, but at the same time, you're hoping that you never see those guys because you want to play as deep as they can. And so it's it's just that kind of give and take. We actually use all 3 weeks. We're scheduled for 3 days each week, and then that way we've got some makeup times if weather's bad.
Right.
We don't have to be out there. So if the weather's pretty bad, we don't take them out because it's we want to continue with we've gained some momentum and some we've got some good gain in momentum, so we don't want to mess that up by getting a kid he tweaks a groin or a hamstring because we're out in wet weather or something like that. So. But it works out pretty well for us. Good. And the great thing about Shelbyville Central right now, especially on the boys' side, is we all get along well. All the head coaches, all the staffs. I mean, everybody's supportive of each other. I'm Coach Young, head boys basketball coach, is going to be coming on and as a part-time position coach for us, coaching wide receivers. I mean, you can't get a bigger fan of football than Chase Jones. Chris Fritz we're constantly talking with each other on things. So it's good for us right now. And the girls' side is getting there. They're improving in that area. The entire culture of the athletic department is phenomenal right now, and the way it's growing, the direction it's heading. So Coach Pope and everybody's done a great job, administratively with that. So it's been a blessing for us.
Watching your players last couple of years, I know you've got pretty good speed.
Mm-hmm.
How heavy are they in track?
We have, and see, that's the other thing too, I failed to mention. So Coach Hunsaker, our offense coordinator, is our head track coach. And we have, I want to say we've got 6 guys that are 7 guys running track right now. 6 guys are sprinting, 1's throwing. So they're getting that work as well. Good. And he does a good job with them. He's built that thing. When he took that thing over, we were running around 20. He's up to 40 plus right now, to the point where we're constantly begging for an assistant coach for him to be able to handle everything.
I know when I was at Shelbyville, I was assigned the track position.
Assigned.
Coach
Voluntold, weren't you?
Coach Bone came into the locker room one day, and Anthony Fuller and I were in there.
Mm-hmm.
And Coach Bone looked at us and said, "I got good news and bad news for you." I said, "Well, what's that, Coach?" He said, "Well, the good news is one of you's going to do track. I mean, the bad news is one of you's going to do track. The good news is you don't have to do tennis." And Fuller said, "I'll take tennis." So I got track. But what we did is we made all of our offensive linemen run the 400. I mean, run the 400. Every offensive lineman had to run the 400, the one lap around, just to try to make their legs go.
Coach, that seems to be someplace that you seem to have more depth than I remember Shelbyville having in a while. And that's in the lines. We hadn't had that around here in a long time.
We're losing 3 great seniors to graduation. I mean, you can't replace that experience. But the guys that we have lined up right now that are projected and fighting for starting spots are incredibly talented. They've had a great offseason. We have 6 guys right now that are all going to compete for 3 spots and can all play.
Which gives you depth. Somebody goes down, you got plug and play.
And so that's huge for us.
You got some strong young ones too, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
I mean, some
And-
strong ones.
And
Good
so
young talent coming
Oh,
up.
yeah,
I mean,
there
we
is.
had
Yeah.
Harris Middle School on here.
we were
It's coming.
we were in a region meeting yesterday and discussed a bunch of other stuff. But of course, you'll remember that nothing really gets done in a region meeting till after the region meeting,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's
Exactly.
when everything gets really. It's kind of like politics, I guess. Nothing happens in front of the camera. But I got to talking to Tracy Hayworth down at Franklin County and just talking about they're struggling right now with their development programs and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, that is where we're golden right now. That's whether it be Shelbyville Youth, whether it be Liberty Youth, working their way up into Harris, and then Liberty Middle. We're rolling right now in those areas, and it's going to start. That trickle that we were getting before is starting to turn into a full pour of athletes and kids that understand what the expectations are and the work involved. So we're absolutely blessed in that. We just we hired a new head wrestling coach, and Adrian Keeley, who is also going to be an offensive line coach for us. So we're starting to fill slots there. We are full for the first time since I got here 4 years ago. We have a full coaching staff finally.
Good.
And
That's
so
really good.
we'll have 4 on each side of the ball, dedicated to each side of the ball, and then myself plus Will Trice will float around position. So we're excited. I mean, it's going to be good for us this year. Now it's going to be rough. You'll remember three brand new starters on the offensive line. It doesn't matter how much talent you got.
Right.
It's going to get rough for a while.
Takes some time.
But we're also blessed in our schedule. 4 out of our first 5 games are non-region.
Good.
So, obviously we want to go 10-0,
Mhm.
but there's room for growth in that before we hit before we have to really dive into region play. And that gives us a chance to win that
Mhm.
region again, because they'll have spring ball, spring scrimmage, 3 scrimmages in the fall, plus those first 3 games before we play Columbia Central. So they'll be very well versed in everything we want them to do.
That'll
And
be
like I
good.
said, they're talented, and you already mentioned how strong they are.
Right.
It's going to be the strongest freshman offensive line or sophomore offensive line class that we've had.
So what are the dates when we actually come back and get ready for jamborees and
Right.
scrimmages?
So
What's those dates?
the calendar push this year, is it 5 years? I think every 4 or 5 years, the calendar will push a week. So everything's back 1 week from last year. So we don't our first scrimmage last year was the last Friday in July. Now it's the first Friday in August. So I think August 3rd, I believe, is that Friday without looking at my calendar.
It's all set up on that August 1st date.
Yep.
Right.
Your fall practice starts the Monday of the week of August the 1st.
The calendar resets itself around the 4th of July. So that's the week of the 4th of July is the first week of the TSSAA calendar. And so this year everything pushed. So we're excited. So it'll be, I think if I remember correctly, the 3rd, the 10th, and the 17th are our scrimmage dates, with the jamboree on the 17th. And then we'll play Siegel on Thursday, the 22nd, I believe.
Are you going to have a lot of Thursday games this year?
We'll start with 2 Thursday
You have
games
to have
again
2
and finish with a
Thursdays.
Thursday. So
Well,
we actually
3.
have 3 because
really?
because of the training school celebration game.
Gotcha.
So it'll be, which is crazy because usually we play on the Friday of the horse show week. This year we'll be playing on Thursday at home for the celebration for the
And
training
that
school game.
and again, that Thursday, a lot of that Thursday is mandated by the state.
We all have to play one
Everybody else.
region game for sure. They dictate a
Oh, they
region
did
game.
a region game.
Yeah,
Has
that's
to be.
our Tullahoma game in the region is on Thursday.
And it was
end of
last
the
year, wasn't
Yep.
Mhm.
So it'd be there this year. The schedule just flips for us. Home's away is home. So like I said, we're excited. It's there's a lot of good things going on. Just like everybody right now, we're just trying to get better and work through all those things and correct all those things that we saw from last year and all that. So we feel like we've made some good progress.
Guys, let's take a quick break. We're going to shift gears and come back just real quick and talk a little bit about some basketball. And there's been some coaching moves too around here. Tennessee Lady Vols, Vandy hired a new coach. So we'll hit on that here in a minute. Let's take a break. We'll be right back and talk just a little bit of basketball. Hello, everybody. I'm Bill Anderson, Kenny Parker, Coach Judd Dryden in with you for Bedford County Sports Live today. And thank you to First Bank and Kincaid
Service Company.
and Corner Cleaners, your sponsors for this morning. Guys, I'm going to start off. We'll talk about basketball in a minute. Was anybody surprised Tennessee made the move on Kelly Harper?
Shocked.
I sort of was too, to be honest.
Shocked. I mean, you're not going to find anybody that's more loyal and dedicated to the program.
And just made a couple of Sweet 16s. I was
Wasn't
sort
he
of
a
shocked.
three-time national champion under with Pat Head, and give him a little time. And listen, I'm sorry, you Tennessee fans, there's not going to be another Pat Head.
No, there's not.
The game has totally changed, and more schools now are putting more emphasis in basketball than they were years ago, and it's just different.
It makes you wonder. The team undefeated South Carolina, they won again, and they're going to be playing Iowa, and it's a big deal.
And I'm gonna
You know,
tell you,
Tennessee had them beat. It was I think it was the only close game. South Carolina. I wonder what would have happened if she misses that shot. Tennessee wins that game in the tournament. If Harper still got her job, I just wonder if that would have made a difference.
I
or
don't
not.
know.
I got a feeling they probably got somebody in mind. Speaking of that,
Yeah,
Vanderbilt made the move with Jerry Stackhouse. Cost them $15 million because the previous year they given him a contract extension, Coach of the Year. Things don't go well. They oust him, but immediately, quickly.
as soon as he loses his game, he's at a different school within 48 hours.
Sure was. So they obviously knew who they
Within
wanted.
48 hours.
And they hired the James Madison coach who was 82-36.
No, I'm going to say he's not a bad choice.
No, not at all.
48 hours.
So that tells me somebody knew what they were doing.
Both somebodies.
Yes, on both ends. A little bit surprising. Anyway, Final Four, just touch on the Tennessee game. They lost to Purdue. It was the second time in school history they'd made the Elite Eight. They got beat 72-66, and that Big Edie boy, there was nothing they could do with it.
He's for real. And to be so big and move the way he moves and to play the minutes that he played.
Yeah, he played all but what, 30 seconds or
I'm
something?
telling you,
unbelievable.
it's different. But I'll tell you, Tennessee played them tough.
They did. They did.
Play here or there, it's different.
Just didn't shoot it well.
Yeah.
Bottom line is you didn't shoot it well, and that's what happens to you. That NC State produced today. It's on TBS, I believe it is. True TV, wherever they've got that thing. Then you've got Alabama, UConn, and this is, Kenny, Alabama's first Final Four in school history.
First time ever.
What are you thinking?
First time ever.
Yeah.
I tell you,
UConn's tough.
Whoever's going to play UConn better bring it.
They better. UConn
To keep it within double digits. I mean,
Right.
UConn can play. But, you know, Bama can score, but can they score against them? And can they keep UConn from scoring?
Right. I think that's the key.
Yeah,
UConn's a defending national champion, which actually is kind of interesting. The NC State made the Final Four in both men's and women's, and so did UConn.
We're sitting here talking about the men's Final Four. I watched a lot of the women's. I got to where I like watching the women play basketball more so than I do the men because they play the kind of game that I like to watch.
Right. It's more of what
traditional we
basketball.
call traditional basketball. And, man, I watched from tip to final shot of Iowa, UConn last night. What a game. What a game.
Caitlin Clark's pretty good, but what she's really good at is facilitating the basketball and making everybody around her better.
She had to last night.
Yes,
Was
she
that
did.
number 10 for UConn?
All right.
I'm telling you right, she was like perfume on her.
One thing interesting, back to the men's for just a second. NC State. I wonder how the big boy, DJ Burns, whatever his name is for North Carolina State. I heard Ron Slade, they were talking to him. Ron Slade says he's really about 6'7.5", about 330. And he may be about 330 because he looks like a tackle, not a basketball player. How does he match up with Edie? Edie's not going to be able to push him. I just think that'll be interesting.
Yeah, but Edie,
And they foul him out.
Edie's going to have about that much arm
He
length
might.
over top of him.
But when you've got a little girth to you,
Yeah,
you can
don't.
push back on that. We'll see.
Yeah.
But they're not going to force Edie out of the paint either. He's going to stay in the paint and camp out like he's done every game.
Did we change the rules on that, Coach?
You would think we did, but I don't believe so.
I'm telling you, watch it.
It's now 6 seconds.
Yeah, it's something like that.
He was in there 6 seconds.
Oh, I'm
it's-
telling you,
several times.
It's in there till he gets a chance to shoot the balls.
The big Tennessee guy, did you see how he was hunkered down and trying to push and push? I mean, and they're all playing that way against him. I mean, it looks like in high school, you do that, it's a foul right now. But man, they're in there just
Trying to root him out.
And he's just standing there like
The only way I saw you might could have done something, I was a little disappointed in. I know Coach Barnes doesn't like running zone, but if you could have somehow run a zone and fronted him and backed him, I think that's the only chance you have is tonight in the basketball.
Well,
But Coach Barnes ain't gonna do that.
Well,
What was
then
the
you
kid's
got
name
those
that
other
shoots the
guys
three?
that can
they've
shoot
got
so
one
good.
guy that's
Yeah.
a shooter now. So I mean, that all you do is have him on that post side. And, as soon as you fall on, he's got a kick out
Yeah.
shot. So that's
But what was amazing is even when he catches it and dishes it, he never leaves the paint. So he'll catch it, doesn't reset himself, not made to, kicks it out, and just sits there. And I don't know how you guard that. I just don't know how you guard it.
Trivia question out there. When's the last time you saw 3 seconds called in a collegiate game?
That's what everybody else is saying.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
I just think it's something they don't look for. But I believe I'd have been getting tech thrown out of there or something as the coach, because I'd have been sitting here every time for the
But I tell
referee
you-
doing this right here, getting their attention to it.
If it goes through, and we'll see. Of course, I'm gonna be rooting for Alabama,
Absolutely.
but I know what the odds are. But what a matchup with UConn and Purdue with both big boys together. That would be good.
Interesting to see the way the media has changed and public pressure. You think we may see a 3-second call in one of these two games now? All of a sudden, with Purdue, now the media's jumped on it a little bit.
No, because then that creates that. I
Uh-huh.
mean, that creates fault.
Right.
So now all of a sudden, what about those 30 games previous?
Well, and you talk about the calls. The last night in the UConn Iowa game,
Called a moving screen.
Oh, yeah.
called the screen. Was it a foul? Yes.
Mhm.
Should you call it at that point of the game? Yes, if it's a foul. But you got to let the kids play. Listen, there are going to be people, and I'm an official, that's going to say the officials cost them that game because of that screen, because of that call. There's so many other
There's
plays
so
in
many
the
other
game
plays in that game. One
that
call
there's
didn't
no
do it.
one play,
No.
one call happened to be at the end of the game is going to come. You have to tell them, guys, the first 30 seconds, the first quarter is just as valuable as the last quarter. Get yourself out. And then they still had a chance. They didn't block out for the foul shot when the girl missed it. And
I noticed another thing in basketball. Maybe y'all did or didn't notice this as well. They haven't called charging much this year. I mean, I'm seeing people lead into people and they call the block.
Man, I'm telling you
Like
what,
they got away from calling two offensive fouls.
Tennessee had plenty of charging calls on all year.
They did, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
so
here lately when games I'm watching, it's like knock them out, John. It's like brother and I in one-on-one at the goal at home.
I think that's where you'll see.
Banging.
I think that's where you'll see Iowa have a lot of trouble. South Carolina's going to be the physicality.
South Carolina got a 6'7" girl.
Oh, and they're brutal physically.
Yeah.
Brutal. Let's take a quick break and let's hear from I believe it's corner cleaners real quick. And we're going to take a quick break. And we're going to come back. We're going to talk a little NFL draft Titans. I got some stuff.
For cleaners, we provide quality services you can rely on. Located in Shelbyville, we're the area's leading dry cleaner, proudly serving customers throughout Bedford County since 2001. We provide same-day dry cleaning and laundry service as well as tuxedo rentals. For customer convenience, we offer delivery and also have a drive-through and overnight drop box.
For all your dry cleaning needs, call Corner Cleaners.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Bill Anderson, and I got two fine coaches with me, Coach Kenny Parker and Coach Judd Dryden. And we're going to talk a little bit about what the Titans have done in the offseason real quick. They have signed Calvin Ridley to a big contract, so you addressed wide receiver. You may have signed the best corner in pro football, Darius Sneed, in that trade. That was a big
That
one.
helped.
That helps tremendously. Lloyd Cushenberry, Kenny, the best free agent center on the market,
That
addresses your offensive
Yeah.
line. I like Tony Pollard, the running back. Sebastian Joseph, D tackle, Mason Rudolph, Nick Folk, a big re-sign at the kicker, another corner, Chidobe Awuzie, who can play. And this offensive guard, you were trying to tell me last week about this Charles kid, and I dismissed you on it. But I didn't realize Bill Callahan wanted him, so he must be pretty good. If that was Callahan's guy, and that Titans are now saying he's probably starting one of your guard positions, Bill Callahan wanted him.
You just talked about what you just drafted. I mean, what you just signed, the center. Got the good left guard we had last year. He can play. You get this right guard that you just talked about. We've got Radens, and we got, is it Pierre? What's the other tackle?
MPF, yeah.
All right.
Petit Frere.
And then they're fixing to get Alt.
If he's there,
He'll be there.
I think that's going to go with a lot of quarterbacks.
He'll be there because
quarterbacks,
quarterback and wide receivers.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks and wide receivers. And I think, well, here's the deal. I think they will get, and everybody's talking about how good the offensive tackle draft is. I think the Titans will get their pick of whatever tackle it is that they want. You and I and everybody else may be saying Alt, but some of the other, they may.
That's right. Could be somebody else.
They will get whoever they feel like best fits them in the long run.
They say the strength of this draft is tackle, corner, wide receiver. Very strong this year. Where it's weak, offensive guard, edge, safety, and linebackers.
I'll tell you, there's some good offensive guards in there, but there's not very many of them. But there's some good ones. The one I like, you don't hear anybody talking about him, is the BB kid from Kansas State. I think he's going to be a player.
I think at tackle, you've got several. I still think there's a chance the Titans trade out of 7 with a quarterback. If one of those guys slips, and there's a trade, and you can trade down and get multiple picks.
You're Mr. Titan. What's going on with Tannehill?
I think he's going to retire. No, he's had no looks from anybody.
That's what I was thinking.
And I wonder if he can't pass a physical possibly with that ankle or knee, and that's the problem, is he can't pass the physical. Because that's been an ongoing problem for him the last couple of years, and they're going to make you take a physical to be a backup. So I just wonder.
With the age and the history, he's going to have a physical. But you just hadn't heard.
But when Josh Johnson, I think that's his name, gets his 15th NFL team at 39 years old, and he signs and Tannehill doesn't. That's kind of strange to me.
Right, yeah.
I don't remember which team it was, but somebody picked him up as well.
All right. Now, we pretty much think, and we talked last week, moving back for the Titans, it's not all bad because they've got a first and they've got a second. And they don't have any thirds, and they drop way on. And they need a few picks.
Well, I think what you need is an edge rusher, somebody to replace D'Amico Autry. That's one missing thing here that I do see.
And here's the big thing is when the Titans come up at 7, is there still a quarterback out there somebody's wanting?
That's right.
Is there still one of those receivers that somebody's wanting? That's not going to be a bad deal. Of course, I like the Notre Dame guy, and I think he's going to be a future player for the long haul. But
actually, there's 4 or 5 of them here could probably work just as well. Georgia's got a big boy. Bama's got a big guy. The guy from Oregon State you and I've talked about.
The one from Oregon State, I think, is the next one.
I agree with you. He's 6'6", 324. Joe Alto is just a stud as well.
His dad was the same way. His dad played years in the league, and I think his dad was an All-Pro.
Kenny, you might speak to this kid a little bit. He's really moving up, I think, in the top 10, maybe in the top 8. Dallas Turner at Alabama seems to be moving up the list. Edge rusher.
He's been up there.
His workout was just phenomenal.
I don't think he'll go past Atlanta.
I could see that as well.
I think about 8. Yeah, he's
looking at the second pick. I'm gonna give y'all 2 names of guys that a source of mine up there said the Titans seem to be pretty high on. One of them is a kid out of Missouri named Darius Robinson, 6'5", 285. They say he's a clone of Autry. Now this will be a 2nd round guy.
There's good up, but I hear there's some.
I've heard there was some of this.
Other issues going.
The other thing, when a draft is really weak at a position like linebacker, and you need one, there's one really good one from Texas A&M. It's just Edgar Cooper because there's just not a lot. Well, the game's changed with the spread and the way people run.
There's another good one from North Carolina State,
but he's got an injury history.
He's got a little bit, and he's a little older.
He's good, and he's older, but he's been hurt a lot.
Right.
And the injuries scare a lot of these teams. I heard half the teams have him off the list because of the injury issues.
He can run.
Yes, and he can hit and play as well. And, of course, you probably need a corner. You always need wide receivers. And, of course, this head coach, they say, loves wide receivers. I just don't see the Titans at 7 going wide receiver. I just don't see it.
Not at 7. No, not at 7. But in the second round. Yeah.
I could see it, but I think I'd rather see him go defense.
In the
I can
second
see it.
round,
I
I
can
think
see
they'll
it
go receiver.
because there's a lot of good receivers in this class.
In the second round, I think they'll be receiver.
What do anybody think about Stephon Diggs being traded to the Texans? Boy, the Texans are
Shot
getting better.
me. Yeah. Texas is really. But you know what's a good thing about the Texas getting good? They're going to Green Bay this year.
Are they?
I might get to go up and watch
Good.
Green Bay and Houston.
Well, good. I don't know that I would have wanted Stephon Diggs with my young quarterback. He couldn't get along in Minnesota. He couldn't get along with Josh Allen. I don't know that I'd have wanted it.
Yeah, but I don't think DeMarco Ryans will take a whole lot.
No, I don't either.
I don't think.
Yeah, I think I think that is the difference. You got a head coach that's not going to put up with a whole lot of stuff.
Well, Diggs
and the way if I understand the way they set that contract up with him, it's basically a 1-year deal, right?
Probably.
So, the interesting thing was Buffalo, had he stayed in Buffalo, owed him $20 million. When they traded him, it's $31 million against the $11 more million in dead money. You wanted rid of that guy pretty bad to take that hit.
I tell you what, when you look around the league now at all the dead money caps,
you're right.
Around the league, everybody is dealing with dead money cap. I mean,
well, even the Titans, as much as they are, they've got a lot of dead money from past deals.
Pittsburgh gets the quarterback from
Russell Wilson. And then they get Fields.
And paying him the league minimum
$1 million
because he's getting all the dead money from Buffalo. I mean, from Denver. Yeah, that dead money's out there, and the Titans have got it.
So we got it. I'm sure.
And you know where it goes all the way back to when we wanted Clowney, when we was
Julio Jones.
Yep, some of those.
The big deal for Tannehill still got some dead money on.
Yeah,
Henry's deal still got some dead money on it. But look at a team like New Orleans who's full of it. I don't even see how they feel. They seem to manipulate it somehow, but every year they're like $80 million because of dead money.
And the next year they'll still be 80 because of have to redo the. It's just like getting in debt,
right?
It's hard to get out of it.
Let's take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to wrap this show up. Here's a break from our sponsors.
Cade Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street today.
Welcome back, everybody, to Bedford County Sports Live. We're going to wrap today's show up, guys.
Hey, before we do, my son is in Nashville today. 2 of his best friends have flown down from Green Bay, guys he's worked with. And we talk about this, and you hear it on for the bachelor party. So they've come to Nashville for the bachelor party. Aaron's best friend, Duff, is getting married. He's got a great fiance, Brooke, and they're in Nashville.
Are they on one of those party buses?
I don't know, but they're supposedly coming to Shelbyville to be at the long place out there on 231.
Longest bar in the
world. But yeah, we're worldwide now.
Coach Parker, you should be the DD tonight and take care of these kids and drive them around everywhere.
I am. I'm going to be the designated dad because I got mechanic work to do. I tell you, man, I'm a heck of a mechanic because I can put a rear end and recliner with the best of them.
That's good. I like that.
Coming up this week, I know that somebody was telling me middle school's only got a couple of weeks left in baseball because they started early. They're just about
super early.
Yeah.
Baseball season, we're looking at being halfway through roughly?
Give or take. I don't know.
And now we really start getting region games.
Well, the whole month of April, the first week in May, and then district starts. District starts. I think May the 1st is like a Tuesday, so district will start like the 7th, that Monday, that first Monday in May.
And hopefully the weather's going to be better when we get the baseball show back on. We missed 3 weeks in a row because every time
Hey.
we're going to have it. Coach and I'll move the show around. It'll rain
Well,
no matter what we do. We just
Hey.
keep missing it.
like I tell you, I'm softballing, and we got rain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Right,
Thursday
next
this week.
And
This week,
you got to make them up somehow.
got to make them up.
Hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Dryden, we really enjoyed as always.
Enjoyed
having
it,
you on
yes,
here.
sir.
Man,
Always
we
good to have you.
Look
on.
Kinda
forward
like
to
a-
spring ball.
Dead knot on a log here, just not saying much while you guys get after it.
No, you,
So-
yeah.
Yeah, dead knot on a log.
No.
Hey, football's going to be back with us before we know it. We're going to be
That's
sitting here
right.
doing the Judd Dryden
Yeah.
show.
Mhm.
And then before we know it, it's going to be over and it'll be playoff time. We're all going, where'd the time go?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It
how
just
fast
flies.
It does. It truly does. So
Older
am
you
gonna-
get, the faster it gets.
I am going to plug our car show.
Sure, let's
We
do
got a
it.
car
That
show
is
out the
today,
high
isn't
school. Yep. Food trucks, all kinds of fun out there. So it's come on out. At least grab a
Old classic
grab a
cars.
lunch. Yep.
Oh, great.
There's last year we had 50. We're hoping for more this year. So
Good.
it'll be a good time anyway. So come on out, grab something to eat for lunch.
Oh, that's
Or
great.
breakfast.
Sounds
So there's
good.
breakfast truck out there too. So
Well, good. What time does all start?
10 o'clock. So here shortly.
Come on, go on out there and check that out. That sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
Love a good car show. Well, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Let's thank our sponsors as we head out the door. First Bank right here in Shelbyville, Corner Cleaners. Hey, there's prom coming up.
I think Community had their prom last night.
You need a tuxedo. I know where you can get one.
I
Get down
think
to Corner
Community
Cleaners.
had their prom last night.
This early?
Either last night or this Friday.
Wow.
Yes. Maybe this Friday.
Ours is the 19th. So they're coming up quick.
Won't be long. Corner Cleaners hook you up.
Mm-hmm.
And Kincaid,
Service company.
see Mark need Kincaid for all your needs. And the best part about them is they'll deliver it and they'll haul the old one off.
Take it away.
And that's something that's priceless to me.
Yep.
I ain't hauling stuff off. I know Coach Dryden, Coach Parker, you're not hauling stuff off either. Are you?
I burn mine. I got some log work to do today. I need to buy me a chopper.
Is this thing on?
Shredder.
You
Yeah,
can
it's
say
on.
that.
Sure.
Well, hopefully we've got a baseball show coming up for Shovel Baseball this week. And we will definitely be back here next Saturday morning, 9 o'clock.
Exactly. I'll be here.
Kenny Parker for Judd Dryden. I'm Bill Anderson. Get out and go to the car show
And
and
David
check out the high
Thomas
school. And
behind
let's
us.
not forget the Wizard of Oz, David Thomas, behind the computer screen.
That's right. Old Boo Bear.
We'll be here next week. So come back and join us and get out to that car show and support Central High School.